Hello, and welcome back to VALORANTS, the only podcast where we found it necessary to miss out on watching champions to record this episode. I'm your host, Willis, and I'm here with the usual crew, Arya and Roger. What's up, guys?
Hello, that's me. Oh my gosh, I made it. Let's go.
And also me. We're here. We're out here. We're recording. We're missing the tournament.
Yeah, what is it, EG versus EDG
I'm
right now?
missing Demon 1. Wow.
I'm missing Kang Kang.
I'm missing.
Certainly not hitting, so we're gonna
certainly not.
Inside
certainly.
and
we're
out
gonna
of
zoom
VALORANT.
through. Yeah, we're gonna zoom through this episode real quick. We only got two things to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
First things first, we gotta talk about Deadlock. We have not talked about Deadlock yet on the podcast. She's been out for what, like 2 months now?
About, yeah.
It's been about
Something
like
like
2
that.
months, maybe a month and a half. I don't know. It's hard to say because not a lot of people play her. And that definitely not the same as when, the last Sentinel that got released, Chamber, came out. She's not as played, but what do we all think about her?
I'm glad that she's not a chamber. At the same time, I do wish they made the character a little bit more busted on release, right? I'm of the opinion that you should always release characters a little bit strong so that people will play them, they'll learn them, right? Because the argument is, but if they're too strong, then it's unfair. But no one knows how to play them. It won't be unfair. So it just feels bad because it feels like no one wants to pick her up and try her. Some people were hyped that, hey, we have a new character, let's try her. But no one's really spent the time to figure her out. And I think with more complex agents, it's always going to take some time, right? We're just starting to see Yoru a few times, right? Like more and more frequently. Tens busted it out. We had, not DR, Paper X busted it out, first.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish they had made her a little stronger. It feels like her utility is a bit too conditional right now. And we're not really seeing anybody do anything really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe give her a little bit of a buff, see what pros do, and then we can always nerf her after. That's my take.
I don't think Deadlock's been played at Champions yet. That's right? Still? Hopefully.
Yes, as of right now, she still has not been played.
And I mean, I again, it's not a surprise because all of these teams practice for months before the event. So they already have their set rhythm. And I think it's really cool to see kind of like the quote unquote like agreement, like the silent agreement between all teams. Well, yeah, I'm going to call it the silent agreement. To like not bust out a completely new character when you're, when it's been released a month before your like final big event. Obviously you have no time to prepare for it as well.
To be fair, I don't think it's a silent agreement. I think they're just not confident in pulling it out themselves.
Yeah, I mean that's why I just said
true.
silent agreement.
Yeah, I definitely feel like going into a team where they don't know what their util does is easier than being in the team that doesn't know what their util does. To Will's point. But also, are they on the patch where they can pick Deadlock? Because I know sometimes they lag behind on these patches, just so nothing changes, right? Gun nerfs, stuff like that.
Usually they're about a month behind, so they should be on the patch where Deadlock is available.
But again, all these teams spend months trying to figure out their comp, trying to figure out their synergy. So I highly doubt we'll see Deadlock until, we'll see her next time probably. But talking about her playstyle, I feel like she was created to be a reactive agent, right? To react to the changes made during mid-round. I feel like there is a way to play Deadlock like you would a KJ. But I don't think her util is stronger than KJ or stronger than Cypher or Chamber. I think util-wise, her trips, they're just so easy to go past, and it's not... As a Sentinel, you don't have, like, I personally playing Deadlock, I don't have the confidence of, like, if I leave site for a little bit, then I'm confident that no one else can be on site.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. And I think what the root of the issue really is just that Sentinel is probably the least valuable... Well, not least valuable. It's the one role where you're pretty much only going to have one, right? No one runs double sentinel, right? Not really. People run double initiator because flashes and KO
Double
and stuff like that
controller.
is really good. People run right double controller because they're realizing that the smokes they just don't have enough if they want to delay the game. If you have more smokes than the enemy, then only you have smokes essentially. And then double duelist, you know, you want entries. Double sentinel, you know, you're already kind of on the advantage for people needing to come to you, and having one sentinel hold down a site is already good enough, right? Like on offense side, you need util to hold flank. That's what the best sentinels do, right? The reason Chamber was so broken, you know, obviously his guns were good, but also just his trip. And
Yeah, let me go down the long list of the reasons why Chamber was broken.
Free
but-
off, fast rate of fire.
Teleport,
very good stuff.
global range on his
all
trip.
stuff. Yeah. Also, you know, two global trips.
The
like,
slows.
It feels like they never learn.
Yeah.
The slows, yeah. And the key difference is even if you shoot Chamber's trip, he knows. You know, like you have to shoot it. You can smoke it. You have to give up util. Deadlock, you should walk, dude.
Yeah, that's my one.
Like-
that's my biggest gripe
Yeah.
with her is that her trips, they're easily mitigated because you could just, you know, silent walk, which, you know, a lot of the time, well, I shouldn't say a lot of the time, but a good amount of time you are doing in the game, especially if you're flanking, because you don't want to, you know, alert them anyway. So I think on like the offensive side, Deadlock is abysmal at holding flanks with her util.
Yeah, and even defensive side, you really want to put her trips where you force them in a situation to make sound, right? Like jumping out of bind hookah. If those are the only places you can put them, then they know where they are, right? Like that's not very good.
The one thing I see though is that Deadlock could be used for pretty good coordination on defense, where you could have yourself or a teammate intentionally activate it, the trip them yourselves on the enemy execute.
Interesting.
But
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know. It's
But it's so finicky.
Yeah.
Like the real question is it worth the
when you just have a cipher
the
trip
loss.
that just goes off on its own, or like, you know.
Or it has to be broken.
You don't need to put anyone there. Yeah. And you know, the single sentinel thing, one of the strengths of having one sentinel who can control a lot of space is that you can stack more towards the other side
exactly.
or mid, right? The more people you need on the site with the sentinel, it's like, why even have a sentinel? Let's just get another controller, you know, we'll high-low them. You know, like just don't do it.
And then her ult,
Yeah. Oh yeah, let's talk about the ult.
that oh my god, I've lost a 1v1 to that ult, and it's so so infuriating. It's so dumb.
There's like a very interesting dichotomy because I feel like her entire kit is very like low power, and then her ult is just insane. Like if you're in a 1v1 situation, you should just win it as Deadlock.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to. If you lose it, then you're just not playing it right. But I don't know. I just like the almost insta kill with the ult is kind of crazy. And also, it takes like a full clip to break the ult too.
Yeah, and if they nerf it, that's just
then
even deeper
there's
in the hole,
nothing.
right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a.
What do you think? What do
Having
you
said
think
that-
her best piece of util is?
Her wall.
Yeah, I would say her wall. If we're not counting the ult, obviously.
No.
Oh yeah, no, that's cheating.
That would win in a 1v1. Come on.
I think.
I mean, her wall is kind of basically a sage wall,
Yeah.
except you can see through it and shoot through it and everything.
I honestly think there only needs to be a few changes to make her utility good, because all of her utility is good standalone, right? Like, I would be happy to take any of her abilities if I could just slap it on another existing agent and trade it out, right?
Sure,
like,
sure.
Like I would love to have like a gravity well on like Yoru or something. You know, like that's crazy.
Oh yeah, the nade that insta crouches.
Yeah, like Gravnet on like Gravnet on most agents would be kind of nuts.
Add that to Astra, please. Just make her stronger.
Yeah, Gravnet on Astra. Like
one of her stars. One of her stars just explodes and insta crouch it.
Yeah. Like
that'd
be
awesome.
nuts, right? The sound thing is like fine, but if you gave it to another Sentinel who already had set up, like if you had it with an alarm bot, they have to run away from the alarm bot or shoot it, you know? Like,
and if they shoot the alarm bot, then the alarm bot would set off. And if they don't shoot the alarm bot would pop, and then that would set off the
exactly.
sound.
So, and like we see KJ have a lot of like, you know, it feels pretty like, oh, that's messed up. But KJ has a turret and an alarm bot, 2 info gathering permanently up, like no requirement other than line of sight items, right? And then mollies, like preset mollies. Like it feels like Deadlock was not given a lot of actual Sentinel tools other than Sage Wall, essentially. But it's Sage Wall that you can shoot past, and Sage Wall. The whole reason it was so nuts is because you couldn't shoot past it, and they've nerfed it over and over, right?
Yeah.
But like. I would, like even on KJ, I would take that. Like turret shooting you, I'm gonna throw up the wall. But none of her stuff works with itself. Like, oh, I wall, great. I can Gravnet them. Like, who cares? You know? Oh, they're walled. Now I can throw down like my thing, like the sound thing. No, they're just gonna like walk because they're already walled off and shoot your sensor. Like none of it works together.
Yeah.
Even something like. Yeah,
kind of goes back to what I was saying. It was like she kind of needs to play with another agent to use her util more effectively.
Yeah, like wall Gravnet into Brim ult. Oh, juicy. But
Ew.
like, just play breach.
Yeah, you could do that with a breach then.
Yeah, and then you save your really nice Sentinel slot. You know,
like it's for like a better important. Sentinel like Cypher,
like KJ,
right? Oh, okay.
True.
But like you said, I think her trip is best used in a spot where the enemy is running out, or you know they're just scattering around, and that usually happens like deep into sight when they're execing, or it happens midst chaos, right? And it's so hard to create chaos when your utility doesn't allow you to, and that's when you have to depend on other teammates. And
that's true
and
as
her
well.
whole thing,
because Killjoy, you know, like we were saying, you see the turret, you see the alarm bot, you see Molly's pop, you have to run away, right? You just have to not.
And that util holds on to the choke points.
You see a wall,
whereas
like,
Deadlock util is kind of deeper into your site, deeper into your defense, so it's gonna be harder to be super reactive. You have to be paying attention throughout the round, and for a minute and 40 seconds. Just staring at the entrance of B main, that is tough. Even honestly, my KJ gameplay has been me looking at the minimap, and that itself is boring. So,
but that's the life of a Sentinel.
That's a Sentinel. Yeah. Honestly, even making it like, I think the problem with their current Sentinel design, right, is it's too reactive. Right? They're scared because they said, hey. You know, people were saying they don't want reactive Sentinels. Why don't we give a Sentinel that, you know, can hold a space down, but through good mechanics, and we're going to give them utility to make things happen. And then they nerfed him 5 times in a row and kneecapped all of his abilities because they don't want that, right? And now they're scared. They're like, I don't want another chamber on my hands.
Well, to be fair, chamber had like an 80% pick rate in VCT at his peak.
But you could tune an agent to not have an 80% pick rate, but higher than a 0% pick rate.
Yeah, of course. But I think they like nerfed him to the point where he like was like just under Jet. Or actually, he went way below, and then like not necessarily in the pick rates, but as far as like his power, you know. So like at this point, it's like, why would you pick chamber when you can, pick Jet and then have like a better sentinel.
Yeah, actually, I think when Chamber was first released, his whole discussion, I remember talking about this, was like, oh, if you need a Jet, just pick a Chamber to
Pick a chamber.
At least for the defense side. Offense, I don't know. I'm better on defense. So.
Fair enough. I definitely think he's still a sentinel, right? You still want both, but like Jet was only really op in defense, so it works out that way. But all of this to say, I want them to just make her more proactive, right? Let her trigger her own sonars with like a button.
Oh, yeah, kind of like a KJ Molly. You can look at it and just pop it.
Yeah, or like set like instead of saying, "Oh, I have to peek out to throw my gravity net or learn lineups," like just set it down like a Molly, like anything so that they can do setup and activate when they want, right? Instead of saying, "Hey, the enemy team completely dictates how my utility works." That's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's something.
The enemy team decide to slow walk past my trips. Just arms up. Oh well.
Can't do anything here.
Guess we're getting flanked, guys. Sorry.
Wait, Deadlock, he's in our spawn. How?
We
sorry. Wait, did he just silently walk up and shoot me in the head?
Did he just walk
up?
Oh
my god, that's happened. Oh.
And down smash?
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that game. That happened like over a month ago.
It happens every other game when you
sad.
have a bad sentinel.
And that's the thing, right? Like in ranked, people aren't spending countless hours trying to get really good at an agent. You'll see a random person just insta-log Brim because they felt like it, right? But Brim's utility is easy to use. Deadlock, I don't like KJ and Cypher compared to Deadlock. Who do you think is more beginner friendly?
KJ for sure.
Yeah.
And then Cypher.
I mean, and it's non-sentinel mains playing Deadlock that just proves how hard Deadlock is to play.
I hesitate to even say that that's like Deadlock being hard to play, as opposed to, hey, Deadlock utility just kind of sucks, right? Like it's really easy to play Deadlock. You just throw things on the ground. It's not going to help you in the game.
Yeah. It doesn't give you advantage in your gunfights.
No.
Now, having said that, right, I'm in this conversation cooking up a little something. I was playing some Cypher the other day with our Lord and Savior Willis on my shoulder.
Oh yeah. This happened.
And I gotta say, I am fully under the belief that Cypher is an offensive sided sentinel.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, I agree with that.
And I think, if you needed a double sentinel setup, it would not be so crazy to have Cypher util and Deadlock util on the same site, and then 4-stack the other side or something like that, right? On defense. And then, what they're going to shoot Cypher trip and then get some.
But to that extent, I would say Cypher and Sage is a better pairing than Cypher and Deadlock.
What does Sage have that you are looking for right now?
Heal.
In the heal. Okay. I actually think the gravity net could be quite good. I really think the gravity net is an interesting piece of utility. I definitely think wall-wise, Sage probably does better. You can get on top of it, stuff like that.
The wall is better. The res, the heal. I think.
Well, yeah, res is kind of a weird situation because it's always just one man advantage, right? You're only getting plus.
I mean, against a Deadlock,
sure, right? Like
we need
either
that.
we get right, exactly. So it's net even is what I'm saying, right? Either we get plus one person or they get minus one person.
Oh, you know what? That's true. That's true. Sage brings people back to life. Deadlock takes it away.
It takes them away. And I honestly feel like, depending on the comp, Deadlock ult might be better, and depending on like how the fight is going, right? So I hesitate to say that outright the heal is like so valuable that it's like, oh yeah, better than the grav net, better than everything else provided. Now, would I run a Cypher Sage combo? Probably not. So to your point,
hey, you know what?
It's only marginally better.
In the tournament we played, that got us to second place. That's all I'm saying.
That's true, but what if it's what prevented us from first?
I mean,
no,
we
I
all
think
know the reason.
I think we know what prevented us. Yeah.
No, the reason. No. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, so Deadlock, where would we put her on our agent tier list? Our hypothetical agent tier list.
What are the ratings? S through what, D?
Yeah, sure. Just a standard tier list structure.
C.
Okay. So, this implies that there's a D tier. What agent would you say is in the tier below Deadlock?
Probably like Neon.
Oh, you son
Wow.
of a bitch! You take that back.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
Even
gotta
with the
say,
wall?
I think that I have not seen many impactful Neons.
What do you mean he's right in the call with us?
You know,
I haven't played.
There's always an exception.
I
you know,
haven't played her in a while.
Just because Will's LTGing it up doesn't mean the agent is good. Yeah.
No, I will give you that Neon is definitely overshadowed by, like Jet, Raze. I would even argue that Neon is overshadowed by Phoenix.
Oh, I don't even think that's an argument.
I
agree wholeheartedly.
would argue that. You might not want to argue that, but I'll argue.
Will argue that point
Yeah,
no
I
matter
just think.
what.
We'll agree at the end of the day. But, yeah,
Oh, true. I think the Phoenix util, right? Like 6-point ult is nuts. The flashes are so useful. If you want a wall, I mean, if you need to wall both sides, sure. But Phoenix's wall curves, you know, like it's really a trade-off. The dashing, the sliding, it's nice.
Sure,
Is that like winning you? Like, is that like worth picking an agent over? I don't know. Granted, Phoenix's Molly is pretty subpar.
Yeah,
but
that's for
other than that,
for
like,
healing. That's
flashes
not for damage.
No, it's to damage your teammates. What do you mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
true.
to heal your teammates?
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. I forgot what the utility.
Get them off the spike,
Right. So anyway, you'd say Deadlock C tier with only like Neon being below her in D tier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Euro, depending on depending on the map. I think Euro map dependent wise, like could definitely be T.
I just got a phone call
Sure.
from
Other
Paper
maps
Rex
could be
and
C or B.
Tens. They don't like that.
I don't think they're gonna bust out the Euro on every map. That I'm fairly confident in saying. Right now, time stamped. We're talking 2023. We're talking August 17th.
Okay.
How about you guys?
Well, I'm reading the script right now, and I see Arya wrote low with 5 W's. So you want to elaborate on that?
So Arya thinks it's a W.
Yeah,
agent,
yeah.
Is what you're saying?
Yeah, followed by an L before that. So I don't know. It's the fact that as a sentinel you have to depend on other utility and possibly another person holding a site with you. That it takes away from you being a sentinel. On offense, I feel like her wall, you can use it like a stage wall to block off the a choke point for the retakers. To block off CT.
You just gotta smoke it too, so they don't
exactly.
see you.
Yeah, like there's a lot of util you have to like combo on top of her util to make it work. I as a in order for an agent to be a good sentinel, I feel like the utility should at least. Again, it's not Deadlock is amazing. Lore is amazing. Deadlock's utility sucks. The ult is a separate matter, but yeah, the utility should at least warn you that hey, this person's on site. they just walked across.
Fair enough.
That'd be a good change too, right? If it doesn't pop, but it gives you a little warning. It's like, hey, someone's walking.
Yeah.
Oh, if the enemy team just doesn't even know, but you know.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That would be
spicy.
so sick.
That might be a bit overpowered.
Yeah.
She's
maybe
getting
just a little
notified.
bit.
She's getting notified.
But that's how she should have been released.
Exactly.
And then she could have been like brought down to what she is now.
I agree. That's true. You guys are spitting facts.
All right. Well, I also agree that she's probably like, you know, in the hypothetical tier list, she's probably like C tier or something.
Okay, well then, in your hypothetical tier list, who's your hypothetical D? You know, we just said
Reyna.
Neon ain't in D. Oh,
Reyna. Reyna is a trash agent, and if you're using her, she's a crutch.
Are we talking ranked?
I'm not.
Are we
Pro
talking?
play.
No, I'm talking
overall.
I'm talking about overall and like
Ooh.
the like intention of the game, like because you know the intent like to play as a team and everything. Like Reyna is like a solo queue warrior pick, and she is not conducive to, you know, a teamwork setting. Her util doesn't really offer anything to, you know, make plays or you know, make space or just give the team anything. She just plays for herself, which is it's fine to have an agent like that, but in like, you know, a setting like, because I judge like agent viability by VCT, not necessarily the comp ladder.
In that case,
and so
I'll make a quick phone call to EG Potter. I think they ran.
no,
let 'em know
no.
you went wrong.
Not my queen, not my queen.
What was it? A bind Reyna, right?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Bind Arena,
Yes.
yeah. Just pushing out of showers, backside. Just not a care in the world.
I believe they lost that game though.
Yeah, they did.
be fair.
Yeah.
So
Maybe got to care a little bit more than that.
yeah. No, I would say Deadlock is pretty low on my list. Probably in the bottom 2 or 3. But we probably won't see her for a while in VCT. Maybe until she gets a few buffs, but
Maybe next season.
maybe next season. But for now, let's talk about this season, because right now Champions is going on right now. A game is live as we are recording this, so we need to go a little faster. I'm missing NA right now. So let's talk about it. We already had some upsets, some devastating losses, some very surprise victories. Yeah, let's. You guys been watching, right?
Yeah. I didn't watch the one yesterday, and I'm kind of sad and happy because
You didn't get to watch the devastation.
I didn't get to watch that, and it means we will have a lower bracket run, and then
Yes.
basically
So
the big dog turning into an underdog, just controlling the
To,
entire script.
yeah, to specify for the listeners, yesterday was the first match of the actual bracket, Fnatic versus Loud, and Loud ended up 2-0ing Fnatic and sending them to the losers bracket. So we are expecting in grand Fnatic fashion to make a losers run all the way to finals and end up taking home the victory.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, it's because my jersey got in yesterday, and I was just distracted, so I couldn't watch the game anyways. So with my jersey on,
Yes.
of course not. Of course not.
With your new
not.
jersey.
Well, honestly, maybe they lost because you weren't watching.
I know. This is the only game that I haven't seen yet for Fnatic.
Well, hey,
number one fan, you
There
got to
you
step it up.
Yeah. You know what? A losers bracket run is a lot better for the narrative.
Exactly.
So we're just going to let it ride.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to talk about the new kids on the block. Edward Gaming was gaming in Masters Tokyo, but now there's another Chinese team that's gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Billy. And they're looking kind of nice.
I honestly did not know what to expect when these two teams were added. But I've been just very happily surprised. It's so Kang's opping? Crazy.
Yeah, EDG. I mean, not even like. I think we said on the last episode that Kang was definitely like the standout player.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously he was the MVP of Masters Tokyo. But like the rest of the team is really stepping up, especially for champions too. Like all the other players have had like standout moments. I think Chichu and Nobody definitely I've seen in like clutch moments or just like insane plays.
I also think I might be wrong here, but China has traditionally not been an FPS region. You know, they don't have a following in CS:GO or anything. So, Fnatic, established team. You know, someone wants to play professional CS:GO, someone wants to play professional VALORANT. They say, "Hey, I want to be on Fnatic. You know, I want to get good enough that they put me on their roster," and they're picking up talent that way. With such an unproven region, I think it's gonna be very exciting to watch because there's going to be so many upsets. There's going to be so many new teams flooding in. We're constantly going to be trading and constantly going to be upsets until, you know, it settles and they have their strong teams for the region. So definitely excited to see some new faces and some new strats, you know. Like, I think every region has strats that they develop, and we don't know what the strats are going to be yet necessarily.
Yeah, well, they've been kicking ass, and you know, NRG was kind of on the receiving end of that. Ended up losing twice to Bilibili, which is something NRG does not do. It's the casters and the analyst desks on the stream were very they were very commonly referring to how NRG does not lose rematches. But to this unknown factor in their group, they ended up losing twice, and NRG didn't even end up in the actual bracket. They're out. They're gone. You know, LAX right down the street. Hop on the plane.
I was gonna say, I think their training camp is right there, so they can just take a cab over.
It's right. NA is literally the nearest airport. LAX, 10 minutes away from the venue.
Oh,
Catch a flight.
Time to go home and grind, you know?
Yeah, hop on the cup.
Artists tweeting out, who should we be playing in playoffs? Because we for sure ain't losing to Bilibili.
That actually made me really happy.
Then
that
Artist was talking a lot of shit.
Yeah, called the first match a fluke. Ooh, it's looking a
Yikes.
little rough for him right now, you know?
Yeah, he
Put him on the grill.
I understand
Yes.
being confident, and I understand, you know, sometimes you just gotta say things to make yourself feel better. But I'm really happy that he got humbled. Real quick, real fast, twice.
Every show needs a heel.
Yep.
And it's oh so juicy when the heel loses.
Yeah, definitely an upset. I don't think anybody expected NRG to lose the first time to Bilibili, let alone the second time. I'm pretty sure out of all the pick-me's on what is it, VLR.gg,
Yeah.
only like 37 of the brackets were still like intact.
First of
after
all,
NRG
how
lost
could
the
you?
first one. What do you mean, how could
How could
I?
you?
Nobody knew. Everybody discounted Bilibili because nobody knew.
Yeah,
Nobody
that's
knew about
exactly that's exactly right. Oh, I had energy qualifying. So sad.
I think a majority of us did. So all the brackets are dead. All the pick-me's. No, I could double check it, but I'm pretty sure nobody has a perfect bracket at this point.
No, nobody does.
Like, that is dead. Yeah. But group stages were really rough. We out of the 4 groups, what group would you say is the group of death that they had to crawl out of?
One second, I gotta pull it up.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, can I get a link for this?
Oh yeah, sure. I thought you guys came prepared
I did.
to the episode.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
Fine.
It's right.
Whatever. Hey, you know what?
here.
I'll go first, guys. I'll go
there you
first,
go.
and I will say.
You go first. You go first.
Oh, that works too. I will go first. I think the group of death was definitely Group D. You had super heavy hitters, DRX and Loud, and then also Navi and TL.
Yep.
TL being, I think, the number 2 seed in EMEA. Na'Vi being a reputable team with a lot of, well-known players. CNED, Soigetsu, Angel, Shao.
Old FPX, right?
Old FPX, yeah. And, at the end of the day, Na'Vi and TL had to, get eliminated from the group, but it was really close games. Like Na'Vi got eliminated, but they still had a positive round count on their games, which is, that usually doesn't happen.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Navi's whole the conversation surrounding Na'Vi was the IGL not being able to perform as well as they should have.
Who is their IGL as of right now? Angel.
Angel, yep. I believe Angel plays or mains controller for the team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was the whole discussion as to why Na'Vi was kind of not performing well for this Champions. And it makes sense, right? As an IGL, you're kind of setting yourself up to a point where your teammates can be like, oh, okay, if my IGL is performing at that level, I need to do better. And they're instantly locked in. If your IGL for your team is not performing well, then it kind of brings the whole team down a bit. So.
Yeah.
But honestly, TL, go for it.
No, go for it.
I was saying how, I don't know, a TL... I think I still have like Scream's TL in my mind, and I don't really know how they've been performing as of now compared to how they were before Scream left, or before Scream left, but I mean, Team Liquid is such a big like it's a big household name, right? And when it comes to FPS gaming, Team Liquid
For
CS:GO
sure, one of the
huge.
biggest esports.
TL Valorant has I mean they beat Fnatic and I think that was the only discussion that they had, or the only topic of discussion that you could make about TL, but that was once.
Yeah, they beat Fnatic and they were the first seed going into Masters Tokyo, and then obviously they didn't win it and Fnatic won it instead. So obviously that was a fluke.
Yeah.
Or something.
It feels like an overhyped roster, overhyped. Well, I mean, not org, but overhyped roster for sure.
Is it really overhyped when they have to compete with Fnatic in their region?
And they're not beating Fnatic. Yeah.
I don't know if we can call that overhyped, because I'm pretty sure Fnatic is very much hyped, but at an appropriate level. So hard to say. Well, to close it out, I guess we can talk predictions. Who do you guys see winning Champions 2023?
I'll go last. You guys go ahead.
Oh, man. You first, Will.
Me first? Okay. Man, there's it's so hard to pick because all the teams right now, at least in the... No, I mean, all the teams are cracked. Obviously, it's VCT. But I would have to say right now, I am really liking how DRX are looking. DRX has always been the bridesmaid when it comes to VCT. Never the bride, never winning. I think maybe this is their time with the way they've been playing. I don't want to discount like Billy and Edward Gaming or EG. Even Fnatic being in losers, I don't want to discount them. But like the way DRX are playing as of right now, as we're recording this episode, I feel like they have a very strong shot of winning it.
Yeah, and I think it's also really tough to look at people in the lower bracket and be like, yeah, like these guys are going to take it home, right? Because they've already lost once.
Yeah.
So presumably
they don't have that safety net.
Once you hit the grand final.
Like
they don't have that safety net. They have to really be tuned.
Yeah. Fnatic has to win everything at this point, which, isn't that hard because they're Fnatic. Whatever. They can do it. Fuck, another weekend for them. Another day at the office. Easy. But it's still a mountain to climb.
That's true. So I gotta say, I still think it could be Fnatic, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't really watched any other teams as closely, so I'm gonna just stick with Fnatic.
Awesome.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, it's gonna be Fnatic for me, hands down. I think this is honestly, I really want to believe in the whole underdog, the lower bracket run. I think it makes for a great story, and I just want to wear my jersey, and watch them win. That's it. That's all I want. But there are still, like, Loud knocked them out in the first game, right? So Loud is a pretty huge contender. DRX, like you said, is a huge contender. The thing about Evil Geniuses is that they are good, but I still feel like they're a bit shaky when it comes to just mid map. They're a bit shaky, and they lose rounds. If they lose a round, they just lose the momentum, and it takes them a while to get that momentum back. So, I mean, that's the only reason why I wouldn't say Evil Geniuses. And then, like we said, Billy, Edward Gaming, both are just teams that we don't know anything concrete about, right? Billy taking Energy out twice, and Energy being such a strong team just shows how stronger Billy is, and what and how their playstyle is just unknown. But Fnatic, and then I think Fnatic, Loud, DRX. But those are our top three teams, I would say, for sure.
Dang, that's crazy.
I know,
We're
right?
all discounting Paper Rex.
Yeah, we are.
Unfortunate. Sorry.
Sorry,
Paper Rex.
As much as I hype up DRX, or as much as I did like 5 seconds ago, Paper Rex have also been really like killing it. Besides Fnatic, they had the second highest round count getting out of the group stage. Not Fnatic by a wide margin, but still, second place is second place, especially when compared to Fnatic. So I don't know. Especially, and also they have their full roster now. In Masters Tokyo, they had to have a sub, and they still made it pretty far. Yeah. Now with the full roster, they're kind of killing it.
You could say they have.
But they're going.
You could say they have something special.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, explain.
I don't think I understand.
Never mind. Go ahead, guys. It's okay.
Okay. Well, they have something now, so they've been playing back. All right. So Arya, you're saying Fnatic.
Fnatic, yeah.
Roger, you're saying Fnatic. I'm shooting my shot. I'm saying this is DRX's time. And
okay, he's shooting a shot.
You know what? In a week and a half or so, we're gonna see how this plays out, and you know what? Maybe we're just all wrong.
It could happen.
Yeah.
I want Billy to prove me wrong. That's it.
I would love any team in lower bracket to prove me wrong.
Fnatic?
I mean, eventually, all teams except for
even
one
Fnatic
go to lower bracket. So one of them might prove
That's
you.
true. But I want to know, like what frequency does the lower bracket win grand finals, after making it to the top?
I mean, I can't pull a metric out of my ass for you there, but
yeah, it feels like, you've already lost to a team. In my mind, it's like, man, that's an uphill climb. And I'm mostly talking about the people right now in lower round one, right? They lost game one, and now they got to go for a run.
Have you seen the camera move from like in-game gameplay to Minnie's face when they lose one round because of a small mistake? That man is distraught. He is so upset.
He demands perfection.
All right, I feel like if anyone can make this lower bracket run, it's Fnatic and Minnie just coaching him up.
Yeah. No, I will not doubt that. If any team can make a lower bracket run, it will be Fnatic. I expect them to go far. But I'm still banking on my boys, DRX baby. They got it this time. For sure. This is the one. All right. Well, you know what? In a week and a half, we'll all be proven wrong. But in the meantime, we're just gonna have to wait. But that'll be the end of this episode of VALORANTS.
Catch
See
you next
ya.
time.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the podcast. Make sure to check us out on all our socials, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify. We're still working on Apple Podcasts. We'll get that eventually, maybe. I don't know. It's a whole process.
Eventually, maybe definitely.
Eventually, maybe definitely at some point in the future. But if you're not following us on those social media, please make sure to do so. And we promise eventually we will start recording these episodes live again in the future. Eventually.
This COVID, you know.
Soon, TM. It's always soon, TM.
Yeah.
Oh, it's always soon. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah.